saw this morning you were frantically attempting to download the latest piece of downloadable content for Le Division, entitled Underground.
That is correct.
It is the first piece of paid DLC, I want to say.
That is also correct.
First of 3?
I believe that is also correct.
Costs $14.99?
I also believe that is correct.
Oh my God.
And what is the that's basically all I know about
Oh, that's all you got?
So what is it?
Why am I even... No, just kidding.
There you go.
Basically, it's like a bigger update than the updates they've been giving, I guess, because in this one, you do get another incursion, but you also get this whole new area called the Underground. As the DLC would say. A lot of the enemies and people you've been dealing with have all fled, but they're underground.
Wow.
And they're trying to rise up again, sort of.
They're in the New York subway system then, I'm guessing.
Yeah, pretty much. So basically, you do a mission.
Just hold out.
Just using Milton Glazer's map to get around.
So basically,
just turn the trains on. Fucking problem solved.
You use a train though.
Do you? To run
get
people
to the
over?
missions.
No.
You got to get to the missions with the train.
It's like a deep run tram, is it?
Can you dig it?
Nice work.
Thanks.
So that's why we keep you here, Mike.
There you go.
Eric.
Yes. So you do a mission, and it's like, oh, you got to go to this other area in your HQ that's like lower down below, and there's like a underground, basically an underground HQ that you're going to. And basically, I would say the bulk of the content is kind of this new operations type of content, which is randomly generated dungeons or like areas that you're going to go in and fight, you know, Rikers, cleaners, rioters,
so it's all the same people we've had upstairs, just they've gone down for a little bit.
So they fled down there. So you're kind of going down there to kind of take care of them because you don't want them to kind of, you know, accumulate forces and whatnot. It's interesting only because I guess you haven't necessarily played this style, I guess, because it's randomly generated and you don't know what you're gonna fight. There's new traps. There's kind of like these jammer things that if you don't take them out, they kind of they make your skills ineffective until you take it out. So that's stuff you have to deal with. And some of the corridors are a little tighter and there's like traps. You can kind of hear them, but you're like, oh, where is it?
Yeah, what are the areas like down there? Because there were subway stations in the Division proper. So like, do they look like that? Are they bigger? Do they look different at all, the environments?
I would say...
Like
not necessarily. I mean, I haven't played too much, unfortunately, because I got that Delta error, which I think they fixed now.
Right.
But it was like stopping me from getting in for like an hour. But it's kind of the same, just different kind of tile sets. And I think they're different each time you do an operation. And then on top of that, not necessarily just talking about the environment, but as you level up your base of operations, you get the ability to change some of these missions. And so there's things like Fog of War as a negative perk kind of thing, or like mad skills. And you basically, you pay for these little attributes to make the missions harder.
Right.
And by doing so, you get better loot.
Okay, all right.
Essentially.
And how is the loot so far? Are we in a situation now where the loot's so good that it's made all your current loot redundant? Or?
I mean... It depends on like where you came from before this expansion. I would say that, you know, the hardcore people probably had their sets, like really good fine-tuned min-maxed gear. So it'll take them a little bit more time to get that stuff, like the newer stuff, because there are new set items. There's new like armor set items, and then there's also new weapons. So that's kind of like what you're hunting for, right? But as a casual player who, like, even for me, I stopped playing for a while.
Yeah, you're still like 95 or something, right?
I'm like, well, so there's I like a level cap past 30, kind of like in Destiny, like a light level kind of thing, where I think I was like 195, which isn't super high. I think you could have got to like 220 in the last big update, but it's easier to get to that. I think I already got to like 205 and just playing for an hour. Okay. So it's kind of got that wow effect where if you haven't been playing, you know, you can jump back into some of these missions, because there's varying degrees. There's like hard mode, there's challenging mode, and they've even added a heroic mode.
And then the missions themselves, is it more of the same? Like just taking out dudes? Is there bosses at the end? Is it all randomly generated, or is there like specific like end raid bosses that you have? Or
I mean, like they're pretty much like missions. That at least the dungeons are. You kind of going through different phases of a map, and then at the end you'll generally fight a named boss and like a bunch of, you know, thugs and whatnot. There's like, you know, protect the generator kind of stuff. There's also, you know, like plant explosive kind of stuff. So it's still kind of objective wise, it's still kind of the same. So I haven't played the new incursion though, which, you know, again, I'm sure there's some added element that maybe is slightly different from everything else, but there isn't something super creatively different, I guess.
So like, is it? It sounds to me like this could have been something that they would have put out as a free update. I mean, $15 isn't the most expensive thing in the world, but for people who bought like the gold edition, is this enough for you?
This is an interesting one because it's like, I feel like if you were playing the Division already, this is great, right? But then also the reason why this expansion maybe doesn't look as big at glance is because they did give those 2 kind of big updates with the Incursion and like little minor like quality of life tweaks, and they're kind of reiterating as they go. So then it kind of
like they gave all that stuff away for free. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. So then it kind of makes this one feel a little bit weird. I mean, you are getting something like kind of new and different in a way, just because they're, you know, you have the randomly generated dungeons, you can add all these different things. So it does change the way you play, because like something like mad skills or something, if you use one of your skills, it basically puts them both on cooldown. So you have to be mindful of that. Your team has to be mindful of that. So there are these elements,
but it's all granular kind of stuff.
I guess so. But I mean, in a way,
maybe that's what Division fans want, I guess. Mike, have you played since launch much?
Like 5 hours.
Okay.
From what you're explaining to me, maybe it's because it's you explaining it. It just sounds like Chalice dungeons from Bloodborne.
It's either that or it's kind of almost in a way. So the thing about the Division is it takes a lot of like Diablo type of elements, which you would understand a lot. So it's kind of like doing rifts in a way, right? Like definitely. You're kind of doing like Nephilim rifts, and like even like you get cash, you get like a little like satchel bounty type thing after you finish the operations, and you open it and you're like, oh sweet, I got a piece of loot. So like in terms of your like the rewards and stuff like that, that's why for me as someone that hasn't played so much, you do get more stuff faster.
But those do seem ideal for people that have been playing, and that's, well, I mean, it's going to help people that haven't been playing much. Like if I jumped into it, I don't know, I'd probably die a lot. But for like rifts and Diablo, the reason I love those is because I was so tired of trekking through the story time and time again. So I mean that felt worth it. But I haven't played the Division much more than like I think 5 hours. I played it. I was actually having fun with it at the early stages, but I never got to the actual like min-maxing level like you did pretty soon, like after launch. I keep telling myself I'm going to go back to it just to play it, because I don't feel like I gave it the chance it might deserve. But then I keep hearing like things about these updates that don't really entice me to do so.
Yeah.
Also, it's hard to like just right now in terms of like where we are at, because there's games like Overwatch, you know, and all these other games that even today I tweeted, I was like, what do I play today? There's Iron Banner event in Destiny, which hasn't been around for a little bit. And then there's obviously the Division expansion. And then I still play Overwatch at night. So then it's like, how do I find time to do
Let's play Doom,
all
mate.
three? I beat Doom though. Doom was great. And then
I beat Doom at lunchtime. I finally got that end boss I got to last night, and I couldn't beat it, and then I did it at lunchtime today. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But there you go. The Division Underground out now, $14.99. Also available in the Gold Edition if you bought that. In fact, actually, Steam has 25% off both of those right now. So if you want to pick up the Division, if you haven't already, it's $60 usually. It's down to $44.99. The Gold Edition down to $74.99. That's until the 4th of July.